This Louis Vuitton fragrance has to be one of the biggest wastes of money that I have done in a while. This technically was not a blind buy. I did smell this in the Louis Vuitton store months ago, but the issue was I did not try this fragrance on skin. I tried it on paper. And on paper, Fantasmagory is incredible. If you're not familiar with Fantasmagory, guys, it is one of the newer Louis Vuitton extrait fragrances. And it was also, if I'm not mistaken, the first like vanilla gourmand from Louis Vuitton, which is why it was so hyped up because, you know, Louis Vuitton gives us a lot of amazing freshies, but not so much gourmandy vanilla fragrances. And again, it's an extrait. So when I smelled it in stores, I thought it smelled really, really nice. It's a very airy vanilla that has a lot of almond to it and a bit of leather in the base, but I honestly don't really detect the leather. It must just be there to help give it some body and dimension. But overall, it comes across as an airy vanilla that is slightly powdery and definitely has almond in it. So it's been on my wish list for a while. I decided to buy it and I wore it on skin for the first time a few days ago. And I cannot believe what a disappointment this is on skin. First of all, when you spray it for the first maybe 5-10 minutes, it really has this funk to it that is not likable at all. I don't know what it's coming from. I don't know if it's the almond giving it this funk. Something about the opening of this fragrance smells to me, the best way I could describe it, is like a wet feral cat in heat. That's the smell. Just a funky feral cat odor. And I don't like it at all. Now, thankfully, it only lasts for the beginning part of the perfume. But the issue that I have with the fragrance is that during that beginning part of the perfume with the funky cat smell, that's when it's the strongest and the loudest and the most projecting. Now, I do know that extraits, sometimes they will last really long on skin, but not always project the most. This one I feel like is just very light in general. Projection, longevity on skin is just very light across the board. But as that funky smell starts to dissipate, you're left with just a very, very light, airy vanilla fragrance. The reason why I feel like this is such a fail and just ridiculous and such a waste of money is because I saw a video on TikTok from Daniel Renee and Gourmand Girl, and they were talking about this fragrance called Rome Fantasmagory and saying it smelled just like the original. So I was like, all right, let me give it a try. So I bought this and oh my God, guys. Does it smell just like it? No, it smells better. Truly, in my opinion, it smells better than the original Fantasmagory. Why? First of all, it doesn't have any feral cat smell to it. It goes straight into the vanilla, airy, powdery, almond type of vibe that I liked about the original one. It also is sweeter, not too sweet to where it's unbearable, but sweeter as in just better. And it projects and lasts longer on my skin. Like across the board, fantastic. And I also feel like it's priced appropriately. Like the Louis Vuitton Airy Vanilla Phantasmagory scent, once I get past the funky cat smell, it is a nice smell. But I don't understand what is it about this particular smell that makes it worth $600. It's just very nice. Some people have compared it a little bit to Vanilla Powder by Mate Premier, and I can kind of understand why they would say that. I don't think it smells like that, but it kind of has a little bit of that like straight powder vanilla vibe throughout the fragrance, but it's not like that. It's just, I think when you smell a fragrance that has a powdery vanilla type of accord to it, people will make associations to other fragrances, but I don't at all think that it is cloning or duping Vanilla Powder by Mate Premier. But anyways, aside from that, there's nothing about the fragrance that to me makes it so groundbreaking that it's worth the $600. After now having it, after wearing it on skin, again, it performed and smelled better on paper in the store. And again, I still liked it enough for it to be on my wish list, but now after having it, it's like, nah, dude, this this isn't worth it. This is not worth the close to $600. I'd rather buy a huge 6.7 ounce bottle of Baccarat Rouge for that money and feel like I'm getting my money's worth than a slightly cat smelling funky fragrance that doesn't even project out into the air. It doesn't make any sense. Now, the packaging is fire. The packaging is super cute. I love the top and how it's magnetic. It is very heavy, so if you kind of knock it down in either direction, it will fall off, which is obnoxious, but the packaging is super cute. But if you were to tell me, would you rather have this cute packaging and you pay like an extra $550 versus you have this basic bottle that has a nice texture to it? I'll take the basic bottle with the better juice for 500, Alec. Yes, I will take that. Because why? Why? Why am I paying $600 for this? And you know, I really wish sometimes that I could just like sit down and talk to the perfumer and the brand. I would love to hear their thoughts if I were to present my wrist to them. One wrist of the original Fantasmagory and one wrist with Rome Fantasmagory, the dupe. And I would be curious if they would honestly tell me that this is inferior, because it truly, in my opinion, smells better. And you guys know, there are plenty of original fragrances that I think still outperform their dupes, that I would still say are worth the money. This is not one of them. This is not one of them. So I'm not saying this because I have any fake loyalty to any niche brand or any Middle Eastern brand. I just have a loyalty to fragrance. I just like good smelling smells. And I don't really care who gives it to me as long as I like it. So if a really expensive perfume smells better than the dupes, I will say it. Like Vanille Planifolia, I will still always say that that one is better than any dupe, even though Hekayat Attar's fragrance Vanifolia is a nice alternative. It's not as good as the original. But this is one that I would honestly say, don't even feel a shred of sadness or regret about not wanting to spend $600 for. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, I would never spend 600 bucks on a perfume anyways. Well, kudos to you, my friend. But if you are one of those people who ever felt like it's something that you should save up money for, save your coins. Honestly, save your coins. Try out the Rome Fantasmagory dupe and feel confident that you are getting a superior perfume for a way more affordable price. In fact, I am so disappointed in this purchase that it's inspired me to make a whole other video on perfumes that I have regretted purchasing, because I got a lot. I got a lot. But anyways, and while the packaging is not as elaborate as the original Fantasmagory, the packaging is what I would consider to be overall cute. It has this nice textured design to it. It's the same color. Obviously, they're going for the same name. I'm looking forward to trying out other fragrances from this brand, seeing what else they have to offer. And I will definitely report back to you guys about that one. Now, in terms of when you can wear this, part of why I wanted to scoop this up is because this really is a vanilla that I think you can wear year round. It is not too heavy and not too cloying that you have to worry about wearing this in summertime. I think this would make a great summertime date night vanilla. Just you smell edible and yummy, but not too like heavy kind of fragrance. I really, really enjoy it. So I'll definitely link it down below for you guys if you are interested in trying this one out, Rome Fantasmagory. Let me know, guys, if you've ever smelled the original Fantasmagory from Louis Vuitton. What is your favorite Louis Vuitton fragrance if you've ever tried any of them? And I'll see you guys back tomorrow for our next episode.